Hi all, it's Amanda with Fig and Thistle Books, and I'm here to do a really quick January haul. So I'm going to try to run through these very quickly because I am supposed to be doing homework right now. My husband has the kids at a birthday party, and I'm supposed to be working on research methods, and I'm not. I'm filming videos. But after this video, I'm going to do my homework. Yes. Alright, so let me just this here. There we go. Alright, so what did I get in January? I love a good haul. So let's look. First up, and this is in no particular order, this is just kind of how I stacked them all. I picked up Red Clocks by Lemmy Zumas, and I talked about this. This is on my February TBR, and it's about 5 women in sort of a dystopian society where reproductive rights are pretty heavily controlled, and their stories all kind of intersect. And I've been told that if you're a fan of The Power or The Handmaid's Tale or any sort of feminist dystopia type novel, that this will be up your alley. And I haven't read The Power yet, but I did like The Handmaid's Tale, and this cover is just gorgeous. So I picked this up from Barnes & Noble with a 20% off coupon, and I will be reading it in February. Next up, I have 2 books that I picked up at a little used bookstore in Macon, Georgia. I was at a library conference in early January just for one day. I spent one night there, and of course I was like, let me find a bookstore. At first I went in, and it was kind of not organized very well, and I was looking through fiction, and I was like, nope. You know what, let me find their classics section. So I found their classics section, and I found 2 gems. I told my little brother, who is not bookish, he's one of my favorite people in the world, not bookish, but I was like, I'm looking for Virago's, NYRB Classics, or Persephone Classics. And he didn't think I could get through the store in like 30 minutes before they closed and find them. And I did. So I picked up Someone at a Distance by Dorothy Whipple. It is a Persephone. It is in pretty good shape. We don't find these over here in the U.S. just laying around in charity shops all the time or used bookstores. So I was happy to pick this up. I read this book in 2010 when I was going through a Persephone Blitz, and I really loved it. I love Dorothy Whipple, so I'm excited to go back to reading that. And I found an NYRB. My brother was so impressed. He's like, you nerds are great. And this is by John Williams. It's called Augustus. John Williams wrote Stoner, which is on my TBR. I haven't read it yet, but I know I will love it. And it's a historical novel set in classical Rome. So I think this is going to be a good one. And it's, like New Condition, and it will be joining my NYRB collection over there. Next we have, so while I was in Macon, Georgia, the one night I was there, we went to the used bookstore, and then my brother went with me for this conference. We were getting ready to head back 2.5 hours home, and we realized that we would be hitting downtown Atlanta traffic. So obviously we needed to go get dinner and just kill some time and then get on the road in the evening. So we went and had dinner, and I was like, hey, you want to go to Barnes & Noble over there? So we did. And I bought myself a book that I have wanted so badly since October. I went in and I asked the Barnes & Noble guy, do you have this book? And he was like, well, yes, we do. And he brought it to me, and I was like, oh. Okay, you ready? Oh, Volume 1 of the Letters of Sylvia Plath, edited by Peter K. Steinberg and Karen Kukul. It is a thing of beauty. It is quite the doorstopper. This is just Volume 1, and I am just like, y'all know I'm a Plath girl, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to read this. It's beautiful. And I have it. It's finally mine. Anybody bothers me, I could just whack them on the head with this, but I wouldn't, because it would damage the lovely book. So that was I think that the happiest I've been over a book purchase in a while. I was just absolutely giddy, because I could have ordered it from Amazon, but it's so much more fun when you buy books in person. Okay, The last 3 books, these books I bought when my husband and I were out for our wedding anniversary, and we were killing some time before the movie. So I picked up a couple books at Barnes and Noble. Let's see, there was a sticker on the book. I hate that. So first I got The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I've heard good things about this. It seems like a good wintry read, sort of based on Russian fairy tales. It's a young adult book, and so I'm going to read it, but I think my teenage daughter will also like to read it because she enjoys YA books and retellings and stuff like that. So I'll read it, and then I'll give it to her to see what she thinks. Next, I got Salvage the Bones by Jasmine Ward, and I've never read any of Ward's books, and for some reason I'm seeing them all the time now, and they're just really calling to me. So I got this one, which is about a hurricane hits Mississippi and what it kind of happens to this one family, and how they kind of like struggle through. And of course it will talk about, class and race relations and things like that. But I just picked it up and sort of read like the middle of a book, like a paragraph, and it is just beautiful. And so I'm looking forward to getting to that one. And lastly, a book that I keep almost picking up and then putting back, and so finally I was just decided to take the plunge. Catherine Lowell's The Mad Woman Upstairs, a novel of the last Bronte. So I love the Brontes. You all know I tried to read Jane Steele and couldn't get into it, so I'm hoping this will be a bit different. And I don't really know much what it's about. It's a woman named Samantha who's the last descendant of the Bronte family, and looks like there's some bits of copies of old novels for the Brontes popping up. There's an Oxford professor. It looks like they go on a hunt. It says a fast-paced literary adventure from start to finish. So this is one of those where I actually don't want to know a lot about the plot before I go into it. If it's going to be kind of like an adventure, mystery, thriller, like, let's see what happens. I don't want any spoilers. So I thought this would be a great one for like doing a readathon, or if I'm homesick or whatever, or it's a snow day and I just want to read something very quickly from start to finish, this would be a good choice. So those are my reads, my haul that I picked up through January. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. That's not too shabby. That's pretty, not too much, not too few. So, and I am hoping to get through at least half of these this year. They were all books that seem to be calling to me at the moment. Kind of overwhelmed with how many good things I have to read. So, all right, that's our January haul, and I will talk to you later. Bye.